welcome to Nature's Cadence Farm Channel. I am Mrs. Cadence.
I am Mr. Cadence.
And I'm Squeak. A name she's been dubbed with since she was a teeny tiny baby. Today we want to just tell you a little bit about our journey and tell you where we came from and where we're headed, and that this is actually not our farm.
Yeah, this is my grandmother's house that we're just temporarily staying in till we get our actual house built out on our farm, which we'll try to squeeze in some shots of the land and everything and what we've done already. So,
well, let's start a little bit at the beginning of our journey. In 2005, we actually had a farm. It was 20 acres. We started with some chickens, because isn't that where everybody starts? And we had fun. We lost a few along the way because, you know, newbies learning how to raise chickens. Then we got some guineas. They were amazing because at first we could not walk through our back door, out our back door, without being able to get ticks on us. So they took care of that problem for us. That's how we started in the fowl. And after that, we started with a free horse, which wound up being a pasture ornament that wasn't very free. But, you know how that goes. So, of course, after a while, we added a goat to be friends with the horse. And then we added more goats because goats are just fun. And then we added another horse and horse boarders. So we went through the whole spiel of having a farm. Of course, we had lots of dogs and cats and everything else too. But we were really, really not happy with the location of our farm and the neighbors that we had. And we found out that we could not actually build a house where we were at.
So what we decided to do was to sell that farm, and we bought a house in the suburbs. It was actually only maybe 5 miles from our old house, but it was zoned residential, you know, so it wasn't agricultural. It was only, I think it was 2.5 acres, somewhere around in there. But, you know, about an acre of it was woods, and a half an acre of it was house and driveway, and the other acre was just grass. And, you know, there was a couple flat spots in there that we could use that actually, we ended up putting a little garden on, a little keyhole garden that had a hugelkultur underneath, and we made that into a nice little patio area where we could sit, and had some gravel down there. But so we lived there for 6 years. 6 years, yeah. And it was a great house. We all loved it. Had plenty of room, paved driveway, 2-car garage, carport in the back for the truck to park in, and it was great. We really, I miss that house. I don't know about these two, but I do.
We all miss that house.
We all miss that house. But, you know, like my dad told me when I was telling him about this land that we just bought, that is Nature's Cadence Farm, he said, you can always build a house. If you want a house just like that, you can build one just like that. You just can't build land. So he said, if you have the opportunity to buy land and you can afford it and it's what you want, do it. So that's what we did. We made the leap. We don't own a house right now. We don't have a place to live on our land, but we're working on that. That's gonna come in time. So we ended up selling that house in the suburbs to buy this land, and so that's our next step. So go ahead and fill them on in.
So we originally bought the house in the suburbs with the intent to sell it. It was a foreclosure property. The plan always was to turn it over and get back to a farm, because that's what we've always wanted, to be on land and have animals and you know, just live that kind of life. What I learned in the interim was so very valuable, though. I already had a degree, a 4-year degree, and what I wanted to do with that originally didn't pan out in my life for various reasons, but while we were at that house, I had a chance to really learn a lot about gardening, and a lot about permaculture. Actually is where I started to learn about permaculture. And currently I am a student of Jeff Lawton's online PDC, and I'm really enjoying that a lot. So what Mr. Cadence didn't mention is that the land that we bought is actually 130 acres. So that is going to give us a lot of space to do food forests and to raise our own food. Something we weren't necessarily interested in when we had the original 20 acres, but we've grown so much and since learned how corrupt our food system is, that we just really want to get back to some basics and, be able to butcher our own chickens and things like that. So, I'm a forever student. I will always be learning new things, new skills. I love that life. Mr. Cadence and I do currently both have full-time jobs, but we need that income to build a house on the farm and be able to plant trees and buy a tractor. And so we gave up the house for the dream. The 130 acres was just an amazing deal. Unfortunately, right now it's all tree stumps. But the good thing about that is that we can start from scratch and do whatever we want with it. So it
is truly a blank slate.
Yes.
There hasn't been anything, no ag, no anything on it for 100 years.
Yeah.
Trees. Just trees. So yeah, we're really excited to get started.
We have already, since selling the house, we sold the house in October. It's now
October of 2016.
It's
now it's March of 2017.
Right.
So.
And we have already put in power and a well and septic, and we will have some videos of that upcoming. So we're getting there very slowly. The plans that we originally had were to kind of live in an RV or to live in a single wide or something, to just be out there. But an opportunity came up to live in the grandparents' house, and it happens to be close to my daughter's school and close to our job. So for right now, this is where we're at, so that we can save up and get started slowly on the land.
Without taking out too much loans.
Right.
Over what we can afford. So.
Right. Try to stay within our means as much as possible. So that's kind of our story for now. You're literally going to get to see us build this from the ground up, and we'd love to take you along for the journey. We originally wanted to do this YouTube channel for our friends and family, so they can follow us and see how we started and where we wind up in 5, 10, 20 years. Someday this farm will be Squeaker's farm. And she also has an interest in all of this stuff. She loves the animals for sure. We'll probably wind up with horses again. So even then, this channel will be something she can look back on and remember where we started and how and why it all began.
So a huge thank you to for my wife and daughter for wanting to come along with me. This is one of my big things. I've always wanted to own big land for a long time, and my wife, luckily I met someone who wants to do that too, because sometimes it's a toss-up, the wife wants a big house, the husband wants big land, but luckily we're cool with the big land, and we'll deal with everything else later. So thank y'all for doing that. And then big thanks to my family who have been super supportive. My mom, my dad, all my brothers, and everybody else included. Everybody's behind us 100%, which is a tall order. There's no naysayers that I've ran into on my end, that says you can't do that. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So everybody has been right behind us, pushing for us. You guys are going to do great. So thanks you guys for really kind of hanging in there with us and believing in what we can do. So.
Yep. My side of the family too. Thank you to you guys, mom, dad, brother, sister. We really just we took the leap, and my dad for sure was like, why are you getting rid of your great house? But I think now he understands that, you know, we bought that house with the intention of selling it. We always wanted to be back on the land. So it took us several more years than we anticipated, but we're getting there, and it's just going to be a long journey, and we're just going to take it in stride and do it step by step.
So let's take the ride together.